with the release this week, we heard AMC is planning to charge more money for this particular film. And it looks like this is what's going to happen with some of the big blockbuster films. They're going to be squeezing out more money at the box office for these films. And I'm going to read a little bit of this off of the New York Post. DC comic fans may need to carry some extra cash with them if they're off to see the Batman this weekend. AMC theaters are planning to charge higher ticket prices for the Robert Pattinson superhero flick when it opens which it's already opened on March 4th. The cinema chain is experimenting with a variable pricing for films. This is almost like that card, that Metro card that they had that was out there. You would charge $10 a month on there, meaning that they want to charge more money for certain, presumably higher budget movies. AMC CEO Adam Aron announced the news on Tuesday during a web call about the company's quarterly profits. Currently, our profits for the Batman are slightly higher than the prices that we're charging for some other movies playing in the same theater at the same time, he said. Aaron said that the transition follows a few years after they raised weekend prices for some of its locations in the United States, he reported, which Deadline reported. This is all quite novel in the United States, but actually AMC has been doing it for years in our European theaters. Indeed, in Europe, we charge a premium for the best seats in the house, as we do about sellers of tickets in other industries. Take sporting events, concerts, live theaters, for example, he explained. Aaron also claims he's seen a considerable upside opportunity ahead if we continue to be imaginative on ticket prices. AMC has been bold thinker in the area of pricing, he said, one who's willing to take risks and one who's willing to take the lead and one who sees considerably upside opportunity ahead of us if we continue the imaginative. According to The Verge, the UK-based AMC subsidiary Odeon got more cash from moviegoers for its premiere seats in the middle of the theater. These special chairs will cost about $12.65 compared to $10 for a regular seat at the cinema in South London. They're also charging $13.30 for a ticket to Batman, while Sing is only $10. Meanwhile, at Long Island Theater, tickets for Tom Holland's Adventure Charter are $19.49, while access to the Batman will cost $20.49. In Los Angeles, an adult ticket for Uncharted was sold for $17.49, and the Batman was a $25.49 stub. Financial analyst Eric Handler, MKA Partners, discussed the idea of variable pricing with The Hollywood back in 2019. When you charge a lower price right there, you're saying that the movie isn't as good as another film. You're saying that you have to discount in order for people to show up. I don't think that's something you'll see anytime soon, he told publications. I think that's total bullshit. Charging more for different in 2022 could be a direct response to the coronavirus. Again, bullshit. That rocked the entertainment industry. Hollywood is attempting to cover its losses from pandemic-inducing lockdown, social distancing. Audiences are now headed back to the movie theaters instead of just streaming films at home. Let me tell you something about half this that's bullshit. The industry had a chance, and still does today, to revitalize one of the greatest part of the theater-going industry, and that is the drive-in movie theater. Drive-ins were making money during the pandemic. People were driving in their cars with their families to certain drive-ins where they paid the price and was able to sit in their car, social distance because they were in their cars, and got to see movies like Empire Strikes Back, Back to the Future, and newer films like The Wretch, which The Wretch made money, made a couple $1 million for a low-budget film that it was, but still clocked money. They didn't take advantage of this. Why? Because Hollywood did not. Because they had deals with companies like AMC, Cineplex Odeon, or whatever the hell it's called now these days. You know, these are the deals that they had, and they were not going to break these deals. So now they want to charge more money to the situation. So figure I'm in New York City. Batman is costing me, let's pull out the good old calculator. It's going to cost me 20. Let's average it out, $26.50. Say like $25.50. I mean, say $26. Okay, popcorn and all that. That's going to cost me another 20, probably 26. Let's give it $26. Okay, so that's like $52. Times that by 4. So that's costing me about $200. $200, but $208 to be exact, to go to the movies for a family of 4. That's ridiculous. This is the reason why, and the big criticism with the Disney Corporation as well, that because they're adding more to it. And the thing about it is, okay, let's take the $200. Say they're paying for also parking. Some places they're going to have to pay for parking. That's probably another $20, $30 probably, depending on how long the movie is. It's the situation on there. Also, possibly they may go out for dinner. Tack on another $100, $200. You're spending about $300 to $400 just to go out for a family of 4. That is ridiculous. That is totally ridiculous. There was a time, okay? There was a time and a place that movie theaters, when you went to a movie theater, say, for example, at 11 a.m. in the morning, they had what they call marquee time, was it called on there? Which they charged less. Much less. In fact, if anything, I think it was half price at certain points. I think it was something like $5. It was like $5 there. So this was years ago. And I don't know if they're still in Florida, but there were discount theaters in Florida. Whereas they played mainstream movies, but you had to wait a couple of weeks when it came out of the AMC theater, if they had their run, and you went to go see it for that same $5, sometimes $3. And these theaters were only open from about 5 p.m. to 10 p.m. They were small theaters. And they survived for, I don't know if they still survive today, but they survived on there. You're driving people away from the theaters. You've increased the prices. You're not giving value to these movies. This is the reason why you've had so many failures. People are not going to shell out. They may shell out for the Batman. They might do that. They might shell out, and they say Batman, the way it's going, it's going to do well. Same thing with Uncharted. They're not going to be shelling out heavily for Sing 2. Only parents with their kids, and they're not, most of them will probably wait till it's on cable or on streaming sites. They're not going to shell out for some of these other films. And here's the other thing. There were some films in the past couple of months that should have done well, like Nightmare Alley and Last Night in Soho and The Kingsman, but the advertisement wasn't done very well. It was very piss poor advertisement. Even though the Nightmare Alley is in the Oscars, Last Night in Soho should have been Oscar nominated. Kingsman should have been Oscar nominated. But they went with all the political movies.